Well, should we move on to thing number 2?
I think so. I want to
If
make
not,
sure
it's going to get silly.
I want to make sure we have plenty of time to work on our project today.
So what's our project today?
It's really fun. So this week we have been talking about needles, bobbins, thread, and all that stuff. So Allison and I decided that why don't we do something with decorative stitches? Because how many of you use your decorative stitches on your sewing machine? Or do you just even know they're there?
Okay, I don't use them.
I said, do you know that they're there?
They scare me.
Okay.
They scare me.
So we decided we would come up with a project that we could use some of our decorative stitches today. So let me find here it is. So our project for the day is
so cute.
This right here.
Look how cute that is. You guys love that?
Okay. This is so we're going to kind of play with some decorative stitches. I'm glad that some of you use them for applique, and I said
I've seen quilt binding stitched with them. I mean, but mine just never look like that.
Well, hopefully I will give you some tips on how to do it. And if you have any tips too, if you do use them a lot, then please
share them with the crowd.
Share them with us, and so we can we do that. So. Oh, that's fun. She made an insert for bell-bottom jeans and put her decorative stitches.
Oh my
what
gosh,
a great idea.
Yeah, that is.
Good.
Look
I'm so glad.
Look how many people use them.
Yeah, I'll show you again what we're going to kind of do today. I never get it quite. There we go. So I had a hard time choosing because on our bigger machines, we have so many.
Jennifer, I do need to. She and I have the same machine. So.
Yes, I have a Solaris as well.
Yes.
So I did all of mine on the Solaris. But today I found the same ones on what are we sewing on? Aria?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Aria. But I said, you might find that, even zigzags. You could do some fun things with zigzags.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited for today to learn something new.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to do the decorative stitches. So you choose whatever fabric you're going to want. I chose this. It's kind of it's a Kimberbell solid, and it's a white, kind of a bluish cadet bluish maybe.
Yeah.
Solid, and I cut it 5.5 by 8. So to prepare to do decorative stitches, this is what I have found that is the best, is that I backed mine with Shape Flex. I ironed it onto the wrong side, and then we are ready to go.
Dorothy just picked up a new one, so this is going to be great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so 5 by 8.
5.5 by 8.
5.5 by 8.
Shape Flex. Shape Flex on the back.
Okay.
And then now we're ready to put some decorative stitches on.
Okay.
So what I suggest that you do is go through your library of decorative stitches and choose the ones that you like and then write them down. Because if you have to go back and refer to them.
I think we've got a stalker.
Oh no. What?
All right. You keep going, and I'm gonna see if these girls can.
Okay, that's kind of scary.
I think we have a stalker.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and I'm going to use this fun tool. This is a, I just lost the word.
Chalk.
Because we're so worried
about
I know.
Jennifer Netlower and
Scott
Slider.
So I'm going to take this. So I divided it in half. So I'm going to start with the center first. So it's 2 3/4. So I'm going to take I'm going to measure it 2 3/4. That will be my measure, my center. And I'm going to draw a line with my Choco liner down there. The reason why you could use something else to mark it, whatever you have. I love this just because when I'm done with it, it easily just wipes off, and then I don't have to worry about a line.
If you had white on top, what would you use?
White, you could use a color chalk. Okay. I mean, sometimes you have a color chalk.
Maybe a friction pen.
A friction pen, something like that. So.
Oh, good, Jennifer. I'm glad you're not stalking anyone. I never thought so, but I think we had a stalker.
Okay, well, that's scary. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. I've already started doing some decorative stitches, and let me just show you some examples of when I started. Okay, this was my first one. I decided to do just red in the center, and then I just did an off-white thread on the other ones. I didn't like the red for some reason. So then I decided, okay, the pink was cute. So then there's some more decorative stitches. So I was playing around and having so much fun with the decorative stitches. I did the pink, one pink line. Then I decided, why not use color? So that's why I used the color, and I used all of these.
How fun.
So I love the colors.
Yeah.
So, and I am using embroidery thread.
Okay.
So 40 weight embroidery thread. So this will be, a lot of you have that at home if you're machine embroiders. So I just chose 5 colors that I really liked. And I used one of each one. So it is a little more time consuming, but I think the look is really good. So, all right. So are we good with our
I think
stalker?
so. Yes. Alice walked in. Everybody else reported in.
Okay.
I have Allie in the back working on it.
Okay.
So,
all right. Everyone take
Jennifer,
a big, okay.
Let's
Everyone
take a big breath because we're worried about you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That's behind us.
Yep.
Okay. So any questions up to this point? I guess I better ask. Any questions? Since we had a little diversion there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Okay, is everyone back? So we're good? Yeah. So I drew a line down the center. I 5.5 by 8. I put shape flex on the back. Do I start over? I put a choco liner down the middle. Okay, so we're all good?
Yep. And I've seen some great things like keeping a stitch book, so that know what the stitches are.
Excellent idea.
Yeah.
Excellent idea. And then just have fun with just seeing how your machine works and how they all do different things.
Carrie was told that you can't iron on embroidery thread. I iron on it all the time on a low setting.
If you're worried about that, it can melt. It depends. You can use a ironing cover. I never get my words right. What is it called? Just take a cloth and put it over the top
ironing sheet
or something. But as long as your iron is not really hot, then you can use those.
All right. Difference between SF 101 and Shape Flex.
It's the same thing. It's the same
brand.
Thing. Yeah.
That's all it is
it's
brand.
Just a white, it's like an interfacing, and it's iron on. It's woven instead of the other. So it's a woven interfacing that has an adhesive on the back of it. So the bumpy side, you'll pressing cloth. Thank you. What did I struggle with last week? I couldn't think of what the word was. We were talking about chickens. So yeah. So now it's pressing cloth. Thank you, ladies. Man,
this part of
I
the
need
chicken.
Do you remember what it was? No, either.
I don't either.
Okay, let's go back. We keep having squirrel moments. All right. So this has the adhesive on it, and you put that on the wrong side.
Yes.
So, okay. Any more questions? Okay. All right, here we are. So now we're going to go over to the machine.
A comb.
A comb.
Thank you. Cindy, I have had a little bit of trouble with SF 101. Not a lot, not to that I would say don't use it, or a waddle. Yep.
Okay.
Comb and waddle. But
if you don't feel comfortable using it, then you can, I'm going to show you, because I also use a tearaway stabilizer. Okay. So you could put 2 sheets of stabilizer. I did that because this fabric is pretty thin. So I wanted to make sure if I didn't stabilize it somehow, then it would pucker as I was.
And it's also in a bag. So I kind of like that idea too.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've started, and I'm going to show you. I put a piece of tearaway on just underneath it. Going to choose one of my fun.
I don't know the best way to get you, sister.
Huh? For what?
I don't know the
Oh,
best way to
do you
get
want to
you.
come?
Yeah,
Just so
I think we'll come
just
over
be
here.
Careful, I have that iron on. Don't. Okay. Can you see better?
Can you see
Okay.
better?
So there is a trick to. This is what I did. I'm not saying that it's what you have to do, but this is what I did to have success with, because sometimes it goes all over the place, right?
Right.
And so I take my stabilizer. I'm just going to continue with this one. And I already did this color. So let me hurry and change this other color. I put on my open toe foot from my machine. Now there's some different ones that I wanted to show you. Okay. There's one, this one is the one that came with the machine. It has a little plastic thing right here, but it's pretty open. There's one like this, which I love this one. It's a open toe, something that you can see your decorative stitches. And then there's also one that comes plastic. So, but they all kind of do the same thing. So as long as you have an open toe foot, I'll put that back on my machine. And I first stitched down the center. So I did the pink along here. Then I went and did the blue. I did it 3/4 of an inch away from the center line. And then I turned and did it on the other side, just so I can keep it. So let me go back and measure 3/4 of and I'll show you how to do that.
Okay, do you want me to come back?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry if we're making anybody sick.
Okay. Okay, so here I've started. This is my center line. And now I'm just going to take 3/4 of a line from that other 3/4 of an inch from the line, and I'm going to mark it. Now you can mark all of them at once if you want. I will go ahead and do that.
Would they rub off?
They do rub off, but you have to, you have to put a lot of, I'll just show you how I didn't want that line. So look how, if I just take a little wet cloth,
Yeah.
then it comes off really good.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm doing 5 different stitches. And so let's go and do, what was my next color? Let's do the green.
Okay, we're coming back.
I want to make sure that we'll get set up here. Those of you that have done, used your embroidery stitches a lot, one of them you did the bell bottom. That was really fun. What else have you done with your
Curtis did
stitches?
some fun things on, I can't remember what he called them, but yeah, so many.
Good. So I'm just going to find, you can go to your decorative stitches, and I'm just going to, this is where it's a good thing to write it down. Then you'll know
Wow,
which
there's a
one.
million,
I know
huh?
there's so many. I think we'll use this one right here.
Okay.
So it's just going to be a leaf. So the thing that I find is I don't watch the needle. I watch the line.
So, you set it to 2.5?
Well, it's already automatically.
Okay.
It's whatever it's set.
Okay.
I didn't have to change that.
Okay.
So whatever it's set, I didn't do it that. But the center part of the line, I'm going to line up right in between there. And my eye is going to stay right on that line.
Can you see that?
Okay. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
So what now I'm going to do is I'm just going to, we'll get up and personal here with Allison. And if you watch, the needle is going crazy, but I'm keeping that line right in between that plate on your, this is a number N foot on your machine.
So cool.
But you can just see my eye is fixed right in that center. I'm not looking at the needle. I'm not looking at the embroidery.
And she's not looking at me.
And I'm not looking at anyone else. So, of course, some of the decorative stitches go away from the middle. And so that might be a little bit scary. But as long as you keep it consistent, then it will be good. So I've had that line. I've kept that line. Haven't let my eyes off of it yet. Okay, I have to concentrate. All right, and I'll just stop at the end. And voila.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay.
So, and there we go. Can you see that fun? That's what we did, was that other piece. Isn't that fun? Do you want to try it? Do we have any? Okay, let's see what else. She did a border on the Kimberbell apron. Oh, look, people are
Cute.
using it to make texture on stuffies or pin plushies. Good. Okay, at the start, we have a couple questions. So
Okay.
let's answer a couple questions, Allison, and I'll hurry and sew this last line.
Okay. Okay. At the start, did you use shape flex only, or is there also stabilizer? She used both. So
Yes.
she double stabilized it. So she ironed on the shape flex and then she added a tearaway stabilizer. And is it a light tearaway or a heavy
I
tearaway?
think it's probably medium. I would say it's not light.
Okay.
But it looks pretty heavy.
All right. Look, they quilted. Oh my gosh, Laura did a crazy quilt with that. That's fantastic. You could
Okay.
experiment with no show mesh stabilizer that is an iron-on as
Yes,
well. That's
yes,
great.
yes,
That
you
is great,
could.
Kenzie.
You could.
And Donna likes the infoot that you're using.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It has that little center part, which is really good.
Curtis, you're right. We are making a bag. And Marianne, it is the perfect way to use up those last almost empty spools of thread and half full bobbins.
Yes.
I mean, I always hate to throw those away. And so they build up, but I never really get around to using them.
Yeah. Okay, so when I'm done here, then we will have the top part all finished, where we won't be doing any more. You could also, if you didn't want your stitches going in vertically, you could also do it horizontally. You could play around with different ways to put. You can make them butt them up closer together, put them a ½ inch, and put more on it if you wanted.
Right.
Um,
Can everybody hear her? Because she's saying, and I think Jennifer's picking on me. She wanted me to do that. Jennifer, it would be embarrassing when my line wasn't straight, especially when Jacki's are perfect. I mean, check hers out.
No, some of them are not exactly perfect.
Yes. Okay, Debbie said she can't hear her.
Okay.
So Debbie, what she was saying is she says if you wanted to do more decorative stitches, you could move it a little bit closer and not do it 3/4. Donna Jones says, I make wavy lines. Perfect, Donna, because then you don't ever have to worry about being straight.
You could do it anyway you wanted to.
Alice is just shaking her head at you. Can you hear that?
Why is she shaking her head?
Yes, she's shaking her head. Yes.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Mention that they can go up and down.
Yep.
As well.
Yep.
Okay,
yeah, you could do vertical lines instead of horizontal lines. I mean, she's almost done, so that is fantastic.
I just am going to sit here and do this. So you're on your own for the rest of the time.
Okay.
Allison,
Well,
okay?
she's just going to stay over there and I'm just on my own. So from this point, we're not going to sing.
Okay. So then now I'm all done. Then all I have to do is, this is just tearaway stabilizer. So I'm just going to
Don't mean to do
tear
that
it
while
away.
you're going.
Well, I need this piece.
Oh.
So we need to go on. So that's what I love about this. And you don't have to be really picky about getting it all taken out either. You can even leave it in if you wanted to. That wouldn't be a problem. That's why I love these Kimberbell little tweezers. because then you can just go like this and clean it up a little bit. Okay, I'll do that later. So now we have this ready to go. We're going to take our bottom part and we are going to use Prairie Cloth. Okay, so this is what this is what Prairie Cloth is. It kind of looks like burlap-ish, kind of. It's a little more open weave.
Can you find that anywhere?
You should be able to.
Okay. Prairie Cloth.
Yeah, but we have
We have it.
we
here.
have a kit. So
Yes.
So I'm going to take this little piece for the front part, which is an 8 by 3.5, I believe, to remember. Making sure I get all my, it's a 3.5 by 8. So now I'm going to take right sides together. I'm going to decide which I want my top and which I want my bottom. So I think I'll go this way. I'm going to go right sides together.
Here, I'll move it down.
Okay, so I have my right sides together and I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch.
How do you tell
You don't.
which is the right side?
I don't worry about it.
Okay,
It looks
okay.
the same to me on both sides.
Okay.
So I'm just going to, but it frays really, really easily.
Okay. So
So-
do you shorten your stitch?
I didn't.
Okay.
So I just did it regular. So
Okay.
I'm going to change my foot to my regular. I'm going to go to my 1/4 inch seam and I'm
Okay.
going to sew 1/4 inch.
So she's sewing 1/4 inch over here, gang.
And I will take it and I will iron. I'm going to press my seams open.
Okay.
So I'm going to
So
press
that you
them.
get a flatter.
Yeah, so it will lay flat. So,
Okay.
all right,
So do you want me to press your seams open or do you need it?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
I am
Okay.
no help at all today.
It's all good. You are helpful. You're the camera lady. So that's good. Okay, so there's my top.
Okay.
And then now we're ready to assemble the bag. So you will need 2 pieces of, I'm going to use this fun pink. I love this pink. Okay, I'm going to use 2. You're going to need 2 pieces, 8 by 8.5 for your lining. 1, 2. You're going to need 1 8 by 8.5 of for your back. Then you will need your front. Then you will need a zipper. So that's all you'll need for this project. So now I'm going to show you how to prepare your zipper. I tried it a couple times without putting in these tabs right here, but I found that it's so much nicer to finish this way. It looks a lot cleaner to me. This one I didn't put tabs on it, but this one I did, which I think it looks a lot cleaner. So I put a little piece of fabric here. So whatever size bag you have, you need to cut your zipper. Your zipper needs to be 1 inch shorter. So since my bag is 8 inches, I'm going to use 7 inches.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to finish this. So how you do this is you take a 1.5 around 5, 6 inches, 1.5 by 5, 6, and I'm going to fold it like bias, I guess, is what you do. So you fold it in half, you iron it, then you're going to open it, and then you're going to iron the two together,
Okay.
and then you will
Oh,
make it look like this. This is really good to press it really a lot.
yeah.
Then once, let me hurry and do that real fast, and then I'll show you.
Here, do you want me to? Or do you need that piece?
I need this piece. You're my cheerleader, Alex.
All right.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't have any questions. I just can't wait to see this put together.
No one else has any questions?
Nope, we're looking good.
Okay.
Lisa loves that tab.
Yes, the tabs are wonderful.
So
Speedy Gonzalez here.
that was a moment of silence. that. So how you guys all doing? So while we talk about a moment of silence, comment sold tonight. Who's excited for comment sold? I am.
Okay, so now I have pressed that. So I have my two ends, so it looks like this. Okay, so I've already done this one, and I've already done the end of this zipper. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my zipper. This is important because you don't want to cut that off, because then you'll have to reinsert it and then you'll be really unhappy. So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut the zipper, and don't be worried. It will all work out okay. So I'm going to cut it at 7 inches. Here we go. Ready? Ah! I know that's scary. So now I have a piece like this. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put my ends together. Then I will tuck this inside like this with the teeth close together. And then I will take my, here I'll point with my little pointer so you can see. Now I'm going to take and I will put top stitch. I'll top stitch, right? I'll just go across here twice to and so then it will look like this. Okay. I've already done this one, so then we won't have to worry. We won't have to take the time to do that. So I have this one ready to go. So now this is going to be where the magic is. And I hope
the magic.
Yes. So now I'm going to take my lining piece. I'm going to lay it right sides facing up. I'm going to take my zipper and I will line it in the center. If you want to be really exact, you could measure and do whatever to end the center. Mark your centers.
Okay.
And then I will take my top piece and I'm going to lay that raw edges to raw edges, just like that. Then I'm going to take my paper clips.
Or clips or pins,
my
whatever
Wonder
you
clips.
use.
Yes, I like to use these Wonder clips.
I know. Chris was saying she doesn't use them too often,
but
I'm like, man, I would never bind a quilt without one.
I love them. So
I do too.
So I am just okay. So then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine with my zipper foot, and one little trick, and then that I wanted to show you. Okay, we'll go back over here.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
We'll try to do this really fast.
And you're right. We do need Johnny and his jokes.
Well, I could do more king jokes, you know. More
yeah,
dad
where's your
jokes.
son when we need him? More dad jokes. Pull up a little bit more funny.
Yeah.
Johnny is pretty funny. We haven't.
I need to get my joke repertoire up to speed.
I can never remember them.
I can't either. I hear them once and then I think I can repeat it. Not even 10 minutes. And
right.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't even remember comb and waddle.
No. Okay, so I'm going to use my zipper foot. And okay. So now here is where my zipper, the opening of the zipper, I should have showed you this. Okay, I'm going to close the zipper more. Silence.
I know. Can everybody? I'm watching intently.
Okay.
Okay, so she closed that zipper so that it's almost. I saw this trick this morning.
Yeah.
And it is amazing.
Yeah. So now instead of starting clear over on this end, here's where the zipper pull is. I'm going to actually start right here with my, I'm going to sew up to that point. So I'm going to take my zipper. I'm going to use the inside of the zipper foot as my guide. And then I will just, break the needle. I forgot to move the, oh, brother. Okay. So do you want to change the needle?
Yes, I'd be happy to change the needle.
Okay.
Do you want me to put you back over here?
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
Okay, she's going to change the needle.
All right.
I did this at my house, and you would think I would remember.
Scares you so bad.
I know. So we need
They're
the,
really tight.
oh, I need the little,
It's a little thing above
okay. So I'm just going to explain what we're going to do. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch till about right here, just before the zipper pull. I'm going to take it out, and then I will open the zipper. Rather than trying to open the zipper around the zipper foot, I will open it up. I've already sewn it. So here my zipper pull is down here. So then I'm going to take it back to the machine, start where I'd left off, and sew the remaining part of the zipper. So does that make it, any questions using fat zipper foot or narrow zipper foot? This one, did we just break that one too? Okay. So we have to move this over to 1. So when you get it, okay, hold on. Okay. So does that make sense? Yeah, remembering to change the stitch is tough. I agree. So we're going to kind of just pretend that we did that. So this is the lining and the front of the bag. So then when you open it, you will have it will look like this. And then you will press this. And I used my embroidery thread, and I just top stitched along the edge. And I think I sewed as close to the zipper as I could, so that this would also show a little bit. So then once I have that ready to go, then I can do the other side, and I do it exactly the same. So I lay my, okay, we'll show you. I lay my lining.
Good to go.
Okay. Do you want to filter some questions real fast? I'll
Yes,
hurry so you can
absolutely.
see this.
Okay, so I want you to know we broke 2 zippers and my hands,
Needles.
2 needles, and my hands are worry free. Betty Jo says, I love that they even have the measurements on them. So if you want to see where your 1/4 inch seam is going, you can put them on 1/4 inch and get an idea. Yeah. And Patsy says we've come a long way in our video expertise. So yes, I know.
Thank you.
Using the fat zipper foot or the narrow zipper foot, which one are you
Well, I
using?
think it's the fat one.
She's using the fat one. And yes, you're right, Alice. Remembering to change the stitch is tough because you kind of just get used to just going your way.
Yeah, and I should have paid attention. That was my fault totally.
Curtis, any other sneak peeks for tonight's sale?
Oh yeah.
Hang on, I'll get one.
Okay.
If there's anything that our girlfriends or guy friends love, what are the 2 things? Any guesses? We love bees and we love sunflowers. And look how cute this table runner is. And that could be a quilt too. So yeah, isn't that so darling? They didn't think I'd show anybody, so they kind of
darling.
pulled
So
it up
cute.
like that.
Okay, so I sewed along here and I stopped just before the zipper pull. So I'm going to take it back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my zipper. So now I can go back and I'll start here and sew the rest of the way. Okay.
Okay, did that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, I just want to make sure everybody
So what she
understands.
did is she put the zipper pull, she started right before it, she stitched the zipper, then she cut the thread, pulled it out, and then she undid her zipper this way and then went this way and finished it off.
Okay. All right. So now, okay.
Christy,
so
that is the table runner Kyle made. Yes.
cute. Okay. So there we go. I will take it and we'll press that really good. And then we will I'll show you how to attach the other part. Okay, so here we go. We've got our liner. Let's pull it down so that you can see. Okay, and then I'm going to do the right side of my zipper in the middle. Then I'm going to take my back piece and I'm going to lay it on top and do the exact same thing. I will use my, I keep
Oh my
calling
gosh, I
them,
can't believe this bag goes
I
together
keep
so
calling
fast.
them paper clips. Good grief.
Paper clips on your mind.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my raw edges are close together.
Okay.
And I would take your time with this because you want it to look professional. So here's my zipper pull right here. So I'm going to start right here.
I don't really want to jinx myself, but remember who used to always shut the machine off? And now guess what? Sherry's done it. Chris did it yesterday. So I just have to call that out. Now watch, I'll shut it off, but my hands are right here. All right.
Over here.
Yep.
So it's not me.
Linda really wants to make a stitch book, but she has so many projects and kits to sew. How to pause myself and make the stitch book.
Just
Linda,
do one little one. Don't do it all in one sitting.
Jackie says, don't do it all in one sitting. And I say, when you figure it out, let me know. Yeah, I think that's really cute. And what's the name of that beige fabric? That is called Prairie Cloth.
Okay, so I have this. Now I'm going to open up my zipper. So now I can go back and see this is open right here. So now I can go back and finish sewing the zipper from, see if you can, see it from here to here.
Okay, that's a cool little trick because then
Yeah.
then you're not trying to have to go over
Around
that little
the
and
zipper.
around that zipper pull. So she's almost done and voila, it's like magic.
I know. Whew. And we're still doing pretty good on time. So, okay, so now our project looks like this. We have the two lining pieces. There's the outside and the front. We're like this. So you put the lining pieces together like this. And then you will put the front and the back like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it will look like this with
Okay.
the zipper in the middle.
Okay.
So what you'll do is you will sew a 1/2 inch. At this point, you got to make sure that you open your zipper
Yeah.
to the center, which I already have mine open. If you don't, then you will have a problem.
Another broken
And
needle.
believe me, I know. So you can either
Lynn, Prairie Cloth is kind of thicker than a linen.
I want to say
It's more like a burlap.
it is.
It's a lighter than a burlap.
It's kind of canvasy. It's a
Yeah.
canvas type, but it's a
Yeah.
more open canvas weave.
Yep.
So I'm going to just squish my ends together.
Oh.
Okay, can we see that better? Okay.
Yeah.
So now I've got my
Squished ends together. Sherry, I love you too. And I'm glad that you don't leave me lonely in my humiliation. Yeah, Lynn, it is a broadcloth. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
a great definition. So thank you for answering that question.
Then I will take it to the machine and I will sew. Now you could do this one or two ways. The way that I found it really easy is I would just sew the one side all the way down. So I'll take and do a 1/4 inch seam from here all the way down. I'll do a 1/4 inch seam all the way down here. So I'm going to pin that and then I can just do that right at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. You'll have a little bit of bulk there with that zipper.
But remember, you put the tabs on. So
Yes.
you're not running right
You're not
over
running-
the zipper.
right. And this is about a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch seam allowance.
Okay, so she's going to do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, not a 1/4 inch. And do you want me to?
You can just leave that on.
Oh, she says it's like.
That's okay. Sorry.
Are you sure?
Okay, so then I'm going to sew my two sides. I will sew a 1/4 inch down this side. Then I will sew a 1/4 inch down here. Then on my front and my back, I will sew a 1/4 inch across here. And then I will sew on this side. I have to leave an opening. So maybe about a fist size. I will start here, sew to here, back stitch. Then I'll start here, sew a back stitch, and then sew it off. So, okay. So I'll hurry and do that really fast, and I'll show you how cool this is. Okay, I can do it.
Okay. All right. It's a 1/2 inch, Lynn. A 1/2 inch seam while she's doing that. Do you leave an opening to turn it?
Yes.
Yes, you do leave an opening. So she will show you that. Ruth Ann, a 1/2 inch seam. So, so she's doing that. Does it matter which way the seam allowance goes by the zipper?
You're supposed to go towards the lining.
Towards the lining if you can.
Just
So your zipper doesn't.
Make it consistent.
Yeah.
So that it's.
Okay, so everybody that has that is good students and part of the club, and you've already downloaded your pattern for today, you need to write in that it's a 1/2 seam allowance when you do that. We didn't get that on the pattern, so make sure that you jot that down someplace.
You're basically sewing right up to that tab. You're not sewing the tab in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you're sewing right up to the tab, but you're not sewing the tab
Into the seam.
to the seam.
Okay. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. Does that make sense to everybody else? So 1/2 inch on the sides, and do you do a 1/4 inch on the end?
No, I do a 1/2 inch.
She does a 1/2 inch on the end too, Jennifer. So good questions. Yeah, everybody's asking really good questions. She's almost done.
This is what's so fun. It's so fun. And you can make these things. Yes.
Laura says she has to rewatch because she loves us together. Now, do you have to rewatch so you can get the real instructions because we can't tell it, or just because you think we're funny?
Just don't mind us.
Judy, it should be on the club portal, and if not, it will be soon. Right now, it's on Deal of the Day, but since it's free, it should be on the club portal, and I did send it to Sherry. Will you be selling the quilt ladder behind you tonight? No, that was a Chris find, Kenzie, and she's really proud of it, and we're really proud of her for finding that. So, yeah, shipping would be a nightmare on that. Judy, did you find it? So, okay, she's almost got this done. No broken needles. We're batting 1,000. So, now she's sewing.
Sewing the lining.
She's sewing the lining.
Opening.
Yeah, the quilt ladders from Target, Chris, you're right. Yes, I think we all need that in our lives. It's so cute, isn't it?
It is really cute.
It is really cute. I'm trying to think of a joke so I can be like Johnny, but I can't really think of one. Told you my 2 funny stories. So
yeah, it's good. Voila, we're done.
And we're done.
We're done. Okay, so I sewed the 2 sides first, then I sewed the back and the front together, and then I sewed the lining, and I left an opening. So what I like to do is I like to miter the corner. So I will just take and miter each of the corners to make sure you don't
clip the seam.
Yeah, clip your seam. So I'm mitering my corner.
That's why I do it with a pair of scissors, because I'm a little PTSD.
Yeah. So now here's my opening. And now I'm going to pull it through. Now this is why you leave your zipper open.
Oh,
because otherwise
you're really gonna have.
Yeah. So you're gonna.
Struggles.
It will be a little bit tough because this is a little bit. I left it the opening a little bit. Should have left it a little bit more, but I'm gonna just work that through.
Nice.
Push it through. And I know it's all magic, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, right sides. Now I'm going to take my trusty R&K turning tool, and I'm going to poke out the corners.
You guys don't realize how talented you have to be to stand up, talk, stand up while you sew, and poke your corners,
And not, yeah,
and
and not
miss a seam.
not poke out your tongue.
Yes.
Okay, can you see that? There's that that tab. Isn't that beautiful how it pokes out like that? Oh my
Yes.
goodness. That's why I love the tab. The tab is the best. And then I'll poke out the other end. Okay, so then I will take my lining. I'll do the same thing because I want all of it to look
yeah.
professional, so it doesn't look like somebody made it, even though it probably will.
What?
Okay,
Should be proud
I
of
have an
me.
opening here, and I will just go ahead and I'll either hand stitch or I usually just do it on my machine, and I will just close that. And then
Always easy to do this opening on your machine if it's not full of walnuts or rice and you're making a chicken. We're still finding that all over the place.
Yeah, I need to poke this end out a little bit more, but you can kind of get the idea. So then I will put the zipper or the lining inside the bag.
Oh, how cute.
And there it is. There it is, folks. I'm sounding like Chris.
Yeah.
Doesn't she say folks
Yeah.
all the time?
She does.
And then you can either embellishment with a charm on the thing. I used some ribbon.
Okay.
And I did the old poking it through the
Roxanne,
hole.
the sunflower I showed is for tonight's comment sold while she's doing that. Jacki is a quilt master. She is like the Jedi master for quilts and sewing. And so that's why she's with me. The pattern is free for club members, and it is so cute.
So speaking of, yeah, so then I just put this in, but I think it just adds,
small tassels.
Go this side.
Yes, and where's the sample that we
Here's
put a
the
button?
sample. Yep, I put a button. I actually, if you want a button or something, you may want to attach that first, but I just hot glued it. So it all works.
I know, I'm carrying it over to take a picture.
Yeah.
Like very carefully.
Yeah. So Diana, it says, do you know if there will be a Sweet and Simple series for March and April? The answer is, I think yes.
I think yes.
So,
yep.
So there you are. That is like, look how fast we did that.
Yep.
And we're done.